KILR Killer Games.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome to my tour around the world featuring Flight Simulator 5.1 CD edition for MS-DOS, Microsoft DOS. This is just only one simulator out of several that I'm doing this world tour on. And you may be thinking, why? My goodness, you got a lot. Well, because I want to. This is a ambitious goal that I've got because I can't do this in real life. So I'm going to do it virtually. And I'm going to share it with all of you. So hope you like these flights. And in the meantime, let's talk about where we are and where we're going. We are at Dubuque Regional. And we are going to go there it is there. We're going over here to La Crosse. So we're going to follow the Mississippi River all the way up to La Crosse. We'll tune into VORs too, just as a precaution. So we'll tune into, I think it might be beneficial to tune into Walk-On and then also La Crosse. So then we've got both here serving as distance references and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get our radios set up here. So Walk-On is 116.6. Go ahead and change that right there. And La Crosse is 108.4. Wow. Is Walk-On really 64 miles away? Let's double check with our handy duty flight simulator manual. Being nearsighted is annoying sometimes. Walk-On. Well, these are airports. No, these are nav aids. Walk-On. 116.6. Okay, that's good. And we're actually going into another state. We're going into Wisconsin. So that'll be exciting. We're kind of crossing borders a little bit. We will be going back to Illinois. It's just La Crosse happens to be the furthest north on the Flight Simulator 2 map. So that's why we're going there. And I thought, you know, as a VFR flight, it would be good. Did it on the Commodore 64 and the Amiga. It was cool. All right. So what am I looking for? La Crosse. 108.4. Yes. All right. We are good. I have one of those green, healthy what are they? Not a slushy thing. Oh no, I can't remember. Smoothie. There we go. That's what it is. Alright, so we are all set here. We're going to go ahead and activate our ATC. by going over here to the Adventure Factory, which you have to have Flight Shop in order to do that. And we're going to go up, and we're going to choose VFR. I've not used this one yet. Alright, so VFR, weather changes, there's this one. And there is the high altitude one. And this is just random weather at startup with no changes. So it gives you random weather to start off with, but it doesn't change anything. But boring. We're going to go with this one here. I'm not sure what the difference will be with it being IFR or VFR.
Philippine 126, can we make a...
I guess we'll find out.
That's correct. Okay.
Now this is going to be a special episode because the airport at La Crosse is not in Flight Simulator 5.1. So I built it. And that's why I've got the graphic for Scenery and Object Designer down there. I use that to create the airport. It does not have taxiways. I wasn't quite there yet as far as building the airport, but I do have the runways, and I have some buildings put down.
Citation 693 Mike, we cleared the Long Beach Airport. Oasis 1 departure, Grosse transition. Grosse, direct Hector, KO3 arrival. Maintain 17,000 departure frequency, 125.9er, squawk 5350.
Okay, the Oasis departure, Grosse transition, Grosse, direct Hector, KO3 arrival, Long Beach, 13,000, 125.95350.
Okay, recheck your initial altitude. So initial altitude would be 17,000.
I'm sorry, 17,000 for 935.
93 Mike.
This airport I didn't do. This was downloaded from flightsim.com.
Southwest 383, Lawrence, if you're on request, sir, stand by. Just one United 2418, you're released at 19er13, void at 19er33, time is 1754.5.
Okay, 1913, 1933 is the void time for United 2418, thanks.
Southwest 383 is clear Salt Lake City Airport, Avila 3 departure, Milford transition as file. Maintain 17,000, departure frequency 133.905, squawk 1015.
5.
I think you did give us the Avila 3, Milford 17,000.
Let's take a look at our map view here.
3395, 1015.
Oviedo 3 departure is correct. The readback on the clearance is correct. You come out of gate 4.
Sure.
Have a good flight.
Seriously, I can't even...
Tank 42, kilo for Charlie.
Long clearance at Talon 42.
Scenic 42.
Tank 42, clear.
Sometimes I can zoom in and out of this thing, and other times I cannot.
Morning, clearance Frontier 382, looking to go to Salt Lake City with Kilo.
Frontier 382, North clear Salt Lake City Airport. Oviedo 3 departure, Milford transition as file.
Okay.
Maintain 17,000. Departure frequency will be 133.905. Squawk 1305.
Clear to Salt Lake City.
This repeats a lot.
Departure, Milford transition and file 17 and 133.905, 1305.
Frontier 382, readback is
We're going to move that, and that should change us to tower.
Thank you, have a good flight.
Negative.
Reno
Air 172 on request to Reno, flight 0310.
Rear
That messed me up.
172 is cleared to Reno Airport, awaits 1 departure, 80 transition, then as file. Maintain 17,000. Departure frequency will be 125.9er, squawk 6764.
Air 172 is cleared to Reno via the Oasis 1 departure, 80 transition as file. Maintain 17,000, 125, squawk 6764. We're at Alpha 1 kilo.
Rear Air 172, thank you. The readback is correct. Have a good flight.
Have a good day. Bunch 297, let's check on our flow control to San Fran.
Call clearance, who was that, please?
That was United 2097 to San Francisco.
2097, Roger. We have pre-departure clearance. I show company accepted, Charlie 8.
Okay, thanks. International Airport departure information November 16000. Temperature 582.30. Wind time, altimeter 3020. Turbojet aircraft departing runway 25 right. All other aircraft departing runways 19.
I hit the wrong key.
Intersection Alpha 2 is the departure threshold for runway 25 right. Split grounds are in use. All departing aircraft without pre-departure clearance, contact clearance and delivery on 118.0. VFR aircraft, state your destination and requested altitude. On initial contact, advise you have information November.
TWA 730, a little bit left there inside the white line, please.
Yeah, we're turning left right now, TWA 730, and just to verify pad 2, that's not where United sitting.
That's correct.
Sundance 104 is checking in as we come up on the high rise, 28 right.
Sundance 104, wind 050 at 5, runway 28 right, cleared to land.
28 right, clear to land, Sundance 104.
Delta 164, runway 1 right, cleared for immediate takeoff or hold.
Delta 164 heavy, we're low. 1191 coming up that bridge for 28 right.
American 1191's traffic will be a Boeing 747 departing prior to arrival. Start reducing, wind 050 at 5, runway 28 right, clear to land.
Go ahead, we'll forward up, there's 191.
Southwest 658, runway 1 right, taxi into position, all traffic landing and departing runways 28.
Sir, position hold, 1 right, southwest 658.
United 2024, reduce speed to 150, crack will change to runway 28 left, clear to land.
Order 28 left, 150 knots, clear to land, yeah.
Continental 134, wind 060 at 5, runway 1 right, cleared for takeoff for Zilly, off the left, will turn away.
Under Continental 134, clear for takeoff.
Sundance 625, traffic off the right, will turn away, wind 060 at 5, runway 1 left, cleared for takeoff.
1 left for takeoff, Sundance 625.
Whoa. My goodness. Did you see that? That was a little crazy. Yeah, looks like we got some stuff over here we can take a look at. Now this is from the artist who did the Iowa sceneries, and I have it in the description. It's Iowa 10.
1443 heavy, cross runway 28 left, contact ground 121.8 on the other side.
Hey, cross and contact ground, 121.8, good day.
Good day, sir.
So this should be Dubuque up here.
33 is 10 out.
United 33, tower wind 0606, runway 28 right, cleared to land, long road to kilos approved.
Clear to land, 1 kilo, United 33.
Southwest 466, runway 1 left, taxi into position, halt.
Southwest 466, position hold, 1 left.
Tower wind 0606, runway 28 right, cleared to land, long road to kilos approved.
Clear to land, 1 kilo, United 33.
I'm at 134, contact approach, have a nice flight.
Thank you, sir, good day to you, 134.
And 603, runway 1 right, cleared for takeoff.
Clear takeoff, 603.
We'll get a little bit lower so we can see the
Sundance 25, runway 1 right, taxi into position, halt.
Position hold 1 right, Sundance 24.
see the bridge. What's that white thing over here? What's this?
Band 1 heavy, cross 1 left and runway 1 right, hold short of 28 left at the approach end.
Japan 1 clear cross, 1 left and 1 right, hold short of 28 left.
All right. I'm moving the viewpoint. Don't worry. Go. All right. So now we just need to follow the Mississippi. Why is it ending there? Really?
Cherokee A3 Alpha, start departure, approved, only see one right, clear for takeoff. Rolling A3 Alpha. 7 Charlie Lima Tower. 7 Charlie Lima, go ahead. 7 Charlie Lima, were you the aircraft with the problems with the radio? That's affirmative, sir. 7 Charlie Lima, roger, make straight in runway 31 left. And report 2 mile final. Appears you're in Charlie airspace.
So I guess we don't have a river to follow?
31 right, straight in. 7 Charlie Lima, roger, I'll advise, make a right-hand turn, you're entering Charlie airspace. 7 Charlie Lima, roger. 7 Charlie Lima, keep Highway 101 off your left-hand side. Charlie Lima, roger. Tower, Cherokee 4542 Foxtrot, holding short, runway 31 right, ready for takeoff. 4542 Foxtrot Tower.
Wow.
Flight down departure, approved, only see one right, cleared for immediate takeoff, traffic, the Dutch is approaching quarter mile. Dutch confirm, cleared for immediate takeoff.
Alright, we better use our nav radios then.
Runway 31 right. Looking Foxtrot rolling.
Outside 265 Hotel Papa, ready 31 right, straight out.
265 Hotel Papa, hold short, runway 31 right.
Short to 31 right, 5 Hotel Papa.
Alright, we need to turn to 319 here. Oh, why? What is up with the plane here?
Hey, who else called inbound over UTC? This is Dutch, 5173 Mike. This one. 5173 Mike, return, straight in runway 31 right, squawk 530 right in. 530 right in. That's 17 Mike. Charlie Lima, any chance for the right if we slow it down? Charlie Lima, affirmative. Number 2, follow the Dutch is now ahead to your right, left and along, runway 31 right, clear to land. 7 Charlie Lima, clear to land, 31 right. 73 Mike, runway 31 right, clear to land, number 1. Grab the route, 31 right, 70 Mike. 5 Mike, runway 31 left, clear to land. 31 right, 70 Mike.
Cessna 658, did you see the Cessna you were following earlier in the pattern? The 658 tower?
658.
Your previous pattern, did you see the traffic you were following earlier on the
Why'd you turn inside them?
I did, I acknowledge.
Okay, why'd you turn inside them?
Sorry, sir, I did not know that.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
Frequency change approved.
Yankee on an extended downwind to left, so 11.
Fort Kilo Mike Tower, enter the right downwind, runway 11, just make a left turn and cross the departure corridor.
Kilo Mike, copy.
Oh. .4? No, it's there should be 4, not. Okay. It's like I change it here and I've got to click in here because whatever I push or something winds up changing in the radio. Okay, well, guess we might as well just climb to an altitude. Alright, so what do we talk about here? Let's go through our strategy book for Microsoft 5. Oh, let's see.
Julie Goldberg's radar contact, maintain 4,500. Navy, Juliet 0216, flying 360.
Okay, so this has more realistic texture seeds for urban, suburban, rural, and water scenery areas. Flight Simulator 5.1 has new photorealistic scenery seeds that are 1 kilometer square and which offer more convincing aerial views of the ground. The CD version covers the entire world so that you can now fly over the desert areas, jungle foliage, farms, and other land textures. To view the texture water, you must click on the checkbox for textured water. That's in the options.
Answer 906, traffic southbound on maintain 17,000.
Note that the CD-ROM version of Flight Simulator 5.1 has higher resolution scenery seeds than does the floppy disk version. Additional nav aids for the world. Flight Simulator 5.1 CD contains many, but not all, VOR NDB navigation radios, beacons for North America, South America, Africa, and Asia. However, don't be too surprised if you can't find a favorite VOR NDB station outside the USA. Microsoft promises that the USA VOR NDB database is complete. In all, there are 4,724 VOR NDB radio stations built into Flight Simulator 5.1's database. And you can bring up a dialog box that lists the call letters, name, and location of any VOR NDB station that you have tuned in to use your radio. Range to station, DME, distance measuring equipment, and out of range the critters are best. Oh my goodness, why am I so tired? Okay, so new worldwide airports and refueling facilities. The CD version of 5.1 contains 234 new airports, including the default scenery airports in the previous 5.0 version. There are now over 340 airports you can land at. Besides, the new airports are situated all over the world. You can now land and refuel the aircraft on realistic overseas flights. Yeah, but there's not very many airports. A lot of people have had to build the airports themselves, and that's something that we'll be doing for an airport that's coming up. That's why I got the Scenery and Object Designer. I think we talked about Easter eggs. New flying models are available for each aircraft. Mathematical description and flight characteristics have been completely upgraded. And I thought it said revamped. Stylus and spins, as well as landings, takeoffs are modeled better than in the previous view, 5.0. One example of this, you can now make true nose-high buildings and keep the nose up to bleed off excess speed. Realism and strategy. Where did I read that? If you set the reliability setting higher than 3 when flying the Cessna, you will still experience torque from the restoration of the propeller, but it won't radically turn your aircraft as was the case in Flight Simulator 5. Also, the damage from aircraft stress up button, high-tech's in a really annoying way. And I like to have the stuff that I need to, charge my phone or something. What the heck did I just say? I am like half asleep. having conversations with myself. Flight challenges. The quick practice section of Flight Simulator 5.0 has been replaced with a new menu option. I can't help but laugh. Oh my goodness. These flight challenges offer you many different scenarios at 2 different levels of challenge, basic and advanced. Within each of these 2 levels, you have 3 different levels, difficulty levels, to choose from. And that's why you have a cell phone. The challenges range for a simple flight from Chicago Meigs Airfield to a daredevil landing on the 50-yard line of the Los Angeles Coliseum. Each level of added difficulty brings on new problems, such as instrument failures and bad weather.
Southwest 293, contact Chicago's approach 128.2.
Alright, and here are the common features between Flight Simulator 5.0 and 5.1. All the features described below are present in the newer 5.1 as well as the older 5.0. If you already know Flight Simulator 5.0, you can skip this section. However, if you aren't familiar with Flight Simulator 5, you might want to look at these might want to learn about the program's existing feature set. Oh my goodness. Okay. Enhanced photorealistic scenery and instrumentation has been implemented in Super VGA 256 color mode using photorealistic ray tracing graphics technology. Included are real digitized high altitude photos of airports and cities around the scenery, where vegetation, streets, urban areas, parks, lakes, oceans, and other.
And Cessna 2 Victor Papa, I have a Chicago Center reroute for you when you're ready to copy.
Vegetation, streets, urban areas, parks, lakes, oceans, and other typography are realistically portrayed. Using cyber graphics, Synth City graphics technology, buildings, bridges, and other three-dimensional objects have realistic features. You can see windows that are lit in buildings, building enhancements, and company logos, real roofs, shading and texture of building sides, etc. Wow, I think we're a little too high here. The airport around Meigs Field uses new photorealistic scenery for a breathtaking view when landing or departing. Scenery expands with greater detail the closer you get. At night, airports and cities light up and brilliant colorful display of street lights, building lights, and airport runway nautical lighting system.
Okay, no problem. Seems like 850 Chicago Center to send that pilot's discretion maintain 6,000, the roadway altimeter 29790.
The sky and clouds are absolutely stunning. In the first realistic display of weather on a PC, there are now vanishing horizons for both the land and sky with realistic gradient textures. Ground terrain is efficiently depicted with small repetitive graphics, C's that represent wind areas, forests, farmlands, mountains.
GPS 785, now clear direct Rockford and Crosse.
Uses,
5 miles southwest of Rockford. Engine maintain 13,000. Rockford's altimeter 2977. Copa 235, Cross Turtle engine maintain 11,000. O'Hare's altimeter 2973.
Dynamic scenery, the Goodyear blimp, hot air balloon, jet traffic, sailboats, and other moving scenery make your simulation survive. That's interesting about the venue.
Never 3347, contact KLR approach 128.72.
Oh my goodness. far away, are we? Okay, so we have 27 miles to go to this. We're still not going down here.
Control 32 miles southbound, altitude, use caution, companies on frequencies from on call sign. 5209, Roger.
Alright, let's see if we can try this again here.
Sure alert, Centerfield wind 360 at 18, eastbound, wind 300 at 7.
Oh, common features, that's where I'm at. True worldwide spherical coordinate system. This system in latitude and longitude replaces the older two-dimensional north and west coordinate system. Map zooms out to 160,000 miles in space. That's if you can get the plus and minus keys to work. It allows you to view the entire planet. A new Learjet aircraft included are the Cessna 182 Skylane RG, same as before, Learjet 35A. The Learjet 35A replaces the Gates Learjet 25G, Schweitzer Skyplane 2-32, and the Sopwith Camel, same as before. Enhanced instrument panels and controls for each aircraft. Just adjusting stuff here. The Cessna, Learjet, Sopwith Camel, and Schweitzer Skyplane come equipped with more realistic and authentic instrument panels. Many new engine controls and instruments give you added control and flexibility to monitor your aircraft's performance. Autopilot. Autopilot capabilities include pitch and bank hold, ILS glide slope lock, ILS localizer hold, and ILS back course hold. The wing leveler, heading lock, altitude lock, and nav 1 lock remain as they were in Flight Simulator 4.0. And here's the question. Should I be doing a world tour with Flight Simulator 3 and 4? Well, as much as I can. It would look like the Commodore 64 and the Amiga pretty much. So I'm just not sure if I should do them. Dynamic crash graphics. You can enable this feature if you want to see and hear your plane break apart when it crashes, thereby determining the cause of the accident. I love how that works in this one. You don't really see it in the others. This one is like the wings rip apart and stuff. Shadowing effects. Building and airplane shadows change with time of day and latitude-longitude position. Advanced real-time ray tracing code gives photorealistic scenery, realistic shadows that match the 3D folds of the terrain. Accurate portrayal of time and season. Polar regions experience 24-hour daylight or nightfall according to polar season. I didn't know that. At night, stars become visible instead of the instant changes between night and day that were present in Flight Simulator 4. Flight Simulator 5.1 has richly colored, beautiful reddish-blue sunsets and sunrises that take place gradually. Well, and we've seen this too, because we have been flying at night and the sun coming up and going down. Weather generator. You can create local weather areas with different weather from the global weather. Enhanced control over weather is now available, including the ability to create local weather fronts that move, as well as copying and pasting weather to other areas. You can customize wind layers, barometric pressure, temperature layers, and cloud layers. Dual player mode. Support is available for higher speed modems, as well as user-definable modem strings. More realism and reliability options. Jet engine flame mount, instrument failures, out of fuel, airframe stress, etc. They are all in Flight Simulator 5.1. Flight challenges. Specially created situations walk you through a basic familiarization with your airplane, as well as teach you how to land the plane under varying conditions. Jump to airport feature. Easily put your airplane on the runway of any airport in the scenery areas without knowing the latitude or longitude of the airport. Also, your navigation and communication radios can be automatically set to the new location without having to look up the frequencies in the airport sectional maps in the manual. Set exact location. This I've had to do with these airports because, well, they're not in the database, so we actually have to use exact location. You can precisely position an aircraft anywhere on Earth using the new latitude-longitude coordinate system. You can even set your altitude and desired heading. Expanded VOR NDB navigational beacons for the USA/Europe. Nav-aids are included for the entire USA and parts of Europe. Land Me feature. You can now have the computer auto-land your plane at the nearest airport in the event that you don't want to manually land your aircraft. International support. Non-US pilots can convert US units of measurement to the metric system. Digitized aircraft and instrument sounds. Sound support is included for many industry standard sound cards. Engine pitch changes with throttle settings, airplane crashes are heard, and navigational instruments have their own distinctive sounds. Video card support is available for many industry standard SVGA video accelerator chips. Improved MIDI control. On-screen movable indicator box is available for ailerons, elevator, and rudder. Includes airspeed, and there is a throttle indication level. So they're talking about this stuff here. And this here is the trim. I think my cat is crying. Customizable scenarios. You can specify a startup situation to include a particular aircraft, weather, location, realism, and reliability, etc. Use them to create a situation you can return to over and over without having to create it from scratch. Flight photographs. Capture screenshots of your 3D view windows, map, or instrument panels to a PCX graphic file on disk that you can later print out.
124.2, Cactus 450.
Untitled 1622, flying heading 050.
Heading 050, Colonel 1622.
And Colonel 1622, I'm maintain 10,000. Air traffic at 12 o'clock and 10,000 west on making 10,900 unverified. Appears to be climbing. Expect higher once you pass that traffic.
1622, Roger, 050, 10,000.
How many pages are in this book?
Colonel 1622 on the 050 heading, intercept 039 radio to Oviedo intersection, rest route unchanged.
039 to Oviedo, rest route unchanged.
And there's like 440 pages in this thing. What if we're reading like a couple of pages or something, a flight? Alright, let's go ahead and tune this in now. Alright, well we know we need to go to 010 now.
Radio, flight heading 080, join 039 radio.
080 now to join 039 on Terminal 1622.
In Colonel 1622, that bay flight traffic is 2 o'clock and 2 miles indicating 1,200.
Got him, TCAS is talking to us about him, but we don't see him.
Departure NASA 906 with your passing 3,700 to 177.
Answer 906, first radar contact. Answer 906, high maintain 14,000.
906 over 14,000.
NASA 916, thanks for the tight turn, that traffic no factor. Additional traffic 12 o'clock and 14 miles northbound, a C9, level at 15,000.
Hey, I see an airport, I think. That must be one of the ones that was added in the scenery. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Yeah, look at that. I'm guessing this is the Walcon airport. Okay, well, cool. Things look a little different.
Seneca 6, Julie Golf Mars, radar contact, climb maintain 4,500. Navy Juliet 0216, flying 360. Navy 216, your traffic 10 o'clock, and 6 miles southeast, flying a T-38, climbing at 13,000 for 14,000.
This is all odd looking. All of this stuff.
Final station 0 for that altitude, maintain 14,000 for that C9 traffic.
Oh.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
We're zoomed in, no wonder it looks odd. We've got some different texture coming up here. "35 miles to the airport. No Mississippi River in sight." That's weird. I mean, it was in Flight Simulator 2 for Commodore 64 and Amiga. What happened here?
Seneca 6, Juliet Golf, stay requested on course heading.
Okay, John,
Seneca 6, Juliet Golf, requested altitude 10,500 and stay.
Well, I'm assuming it's in Flight Simulator 98. I'm pretty sure it's in the later ones. And if it wasn't in like FSX or X-Plane.
Frontier 154 is radar contact. Climb maintain 7,000 only.
7,000.
My goodness, that would be horrible. So I wonder what this is.
Navy Juliet 0216.
This is like
290.
forest texture or what that is. One thing I like about Flight Simulator 5 and Flight Simulator 98 is they have different types of textures, so they have a different type of style to them. And that's what I like about flying these different flight simulators, is that you can have a different look and be able to see things differently when you're flying. I think it does a lot more than just random, you know, shots of, well, here's what this simulator looks like, and here's what this one looks like. But now you can see a worldwide flight and see how it differs from Flight Simulator. Like here, for example, who would have thought that there was no Mississippi River going north? There should be.
Delta 1749 in Fable, you can stretch your climb.
1749.
All right, let's let's talk a little bit more about Why do cowboys wear high heels? This is actually a book of just like fascinating facts around the world. Why do we put our pennies in a piggy bank? Oh no, hold on. Who was Davy Jones, and why is his locker at the bottom of the sea? Except for the tambourine slapping member of the Monkees. Hey, hey, with the Monkees. No one famous ever held the name. The Davy Jones in question wasn't even a real person. A West Indian word for ghost is Duffy, and sailors there often spoke of an apparition of the biblical prophet Jonah. That is, the Duffy Jonah. Seamen from abroad, not quite understanding what the natives were saying, took the figure to be some lost sailor by the name of Davy Jones. It's Duffy Jonah. Did you say Davy Jones? As for the locker, that's a common word for a seaman's chest. Thus, to visit Davy Jones' locker is to go to the bottom of the sea and one's death. Try to get ourselves back on course here. Alright. So why do we put our pennies in a piggy bank? We don't actually know the artist's name, but we know why he or she did it. In medieval England, clay was known as pig, or pygg, P-Y-G-G. People would usually put their coins in pygg dishes or jars when they came home. These were commonly referred to as, I'm just going to say pig banks. One English potter around the year 1600 was asked to make several pig banks. Unfamiliar with the term, he made several banks shaped like pigs, with slots in the back for the coins. The customer was not disappointed, and in fact ordered more for friends. The charming idea caught on and quickly spread through Europe. Interestingly, pigs, the animals, took their name from that same root word. Instead of clay made from mud, they were animals who lived in mud. Let's look up this pig, this P-Y-G-G, and see what it says.
Heading to join that radio, flight heading 080, join 039 radio.
080 now to join 039, Alpine 1622.
In Kyle 1622, that vehicle traffic is 2 o'clock and 2 miles indicating 1,200.
You got him, PCAS is talking to us about him, but we don't see him.
Interesting.
After 906, large radar contact.
Someone did make a pig out of it, but this is kind of like what it looks like. Those are pig, P-Y-G-G. This is like the accidental invention, the origin of the piggy bank. Okay, here's some more pig jars. See that? A little too close. So interesting things that you can find out on a flight. All right, let's Tune back in over here. Go back to 010. Now remember, I created the airport that we're going to. It was not there. So, it's not going to be the most prettiest. But I do have the runways, and I did put some buildings down. Well, we're only 17 miles away.
Navy 220, flight 360. Navy 216, your traffic 10-5, and 6 miles southeast on a T-38, climbing out of 13,000 for 14,000.
We're looking for maybe,
Alright, let's read something else from this book. What does OK stand for? Believe it or not, there isn't a language specialist on Earth who can tell you for sure. Some scholars say it came from our 7th president, Andrew Jackson. Well, since it could be anywhere in the world, we'll just say it came... Some say it came from the 7th United States president, Andrew Jackson, who wasn't all that well educated and had a habit of misspelling all correct as oral correct, O-R-L-K-U-R-R-E-C-T. When he was too lazy to write it out, he simply wrote OK, or so the story goes. However, there are no written examples to support this claim. Others say it comes from the Jamaican OK for all right, while President Woodrow Wilson said it came from the Choctaw word okay, O-K-E-H. However, most linguists trace its origin to the presidential election of 1840. It has something to do with presidents, apparently. Democratic nominee Martin Van Buren was born in Old Kinderhook. Old O Kinderhook. Okay, I see where this is going. And one of the groups that supported him was the Democratic OK Club. Other Van Buren boosters began using the letters OK to signify their support of the candidate. And when he was elected, everyone was assured that the country would be okay. That's funny. There are 98 pages in this book. So, plenty of opportunity to read stuff. And I'll be doing this on some of the other flight simulators too, I think. Mainly I'm doing it on these older ones since there's not much to look at as far as scenery. So by talking and going over some things, it helps pass the time by without, you know, skipping. I mean, sure, you can sit there and skip through the video if you want to. But, you know, you may just want to sit here and chill, you know. I'm just going to sit here and chill with the Killer Gamer. Hey, man, I love it. Glad to have you here with me chilling. Why is this going off course? It shouldn't be. There must be a wind or something blowing us off course. Okay, we are 9 miles from the airport. And there it is.
Southwest 1749 in Fable, can you stretch your climb? 1749.
Yeah, we should have like the Mississippi River like right under us.
We're looking 711 position. 711 at 12 times 5 miles westbound, and they're going to continue westbound at 3,500. Thank you.
I guess this texture represents like a wooded area with trees and, you know, the like brown like dirt and stuff like that. Because, you know, the more I look at it, the more it begins to kind of make me think like that. Like a wooded area. Now, I guess the question is this area supposed to be wooded?
Our departure got on 1622 out of 3.3 for 170.
Now 1622 towards radar contact. Climb and maintain 900,000.
900,000, got on
Okay, let's go ahead and start slowing down here.
11 heavy, and if I discretion maintain level 240. 11 heavy, discretion to 240. 25 to 4 miles from the front.
On this one, I didn't add any ILSs either. Now, if you've seen last week's episode, you'll know this is not the first airport I made. It was just the first one that I made with the scenery and object designer. Okay, I know there's a runway off here to the...
180 speed, that's 6,000 to 187. 129, number to maintain 4,000. Number 4,000, right, 129.
This would be cool. I'll be landing at my own airport. Something I've never done before. Okay, well, other than the runway ones I put down. There's our runway. One of them. Now the question is, can I get this thing centered? Because it looks like I'm way off here. Zzz.
Reno 222, cross 25 right, traffic holding position, contact ground point 1. Line 3 heavy, runway 19 left, clear for immediate takeoff, wind 3505. Clear for takeoff, 19 left, line 3 heavy. Yeah, 1711, 1 mile final, you had 25 left. Yeah, 1711, clear to land, runway 25 left, wind 3505. Clear land, 25 left, yeah, 1711. Tower, 1 for Rome, clear of all departure corridors. Clear for 1 for Rome, use caution, there's a heavy jet departing southbound up runway 19, caution with turbulence. 1 for Rome. Stand this frequency for now, please. 1 for Rome.
It looks like we're really low. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Can you see the buildings that I put down? Man, we're on a good glide slope here. Oh, until that happened. See, so I put a couple of those buildings in here. And then I've got this. this fuel hangar.
19 right, clear to land, wind 3505.
19 right, clear to land, Scenic 45.
Flying 3 heavy, traffic at 12 o'clock, 2 miles, low level southbound, 2,700 is a helicopter. Okay, we're looking at Flying 3 heavy.
That would actually work too. It gave me fuel. All right. Well, we got ourselves a hangar.
11, hold short for departing traffic, stand as frequency.
Okay, we'll stay with you. Hold short 25 right, copy 11.
All right. Well, here we are at La Crosse, Wisconsin. Not much of a VFR flight, but you at least get to see the airport that I did. Like I said, there's not much, but you know, it's one of my first ones. One of them, and
Southwest 1123, push on gate 22, Southwest 11.
I'm sure I'll be making more, and
Southwest 1123, thanks.
I hope to be able to make some decent ones. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me on this flight. Sorry if I was kind of nodding off there. It's been a long day. Anyways, I hope to see you on the next flight and on the other simulators. And in the meantime, be safe out in the skies. All right, take care. If you thought this flight was interesting, then you might want to check it out on these other flight simulators that you see on your screen. It's just a fun way to relive old memories and see how things changed over the years. Be sure to subscribe to be notified of any new videos, and I'll see you on the next flight.